Star Wars franchise. Whether it's the visuals, the storytelling, the pageantry, or the characters, there's so many aspects of the franchise that have clicked with me ever since I was a kid.
Hey guys, I'm X. I run Perspective Reports. Back on May 4th, 2025, we posted 2 short-form videos breaking down the 3 best and 3 worst business strategy decisions in the Star Wars franchise. So we decided to run it back. We're doing a follow-up horizontal video. This time we're breaking down the top 5 best and top 5 worst business strategy decisions in the Star Wars franchise.
Try and tie things to a financial value to understand how much was financially gained or lost due to these decisions. And of course, we'll link all of our sources in the description box to back up our analysis. That's kind of the premise. Let's get into it.
But before we get started, a couple of things. Make sure to go to our website, perspectivereports.com, hit that participate tab. You'll find a survey. Fill that out for us. It'll really help make future videos and help build out our community. So if you're looking to get involved, that's the easiest, best way to do it. There's no advertisers involved in this. This is just all for future content. Also check out our other content on our page. We've got a lot of other crazy strategy videos that we think you'll like. And of course, if you like what you see, please feel free to like and subscribe. You'll really help us out. Thank you so much, y'all, and let's get to it.
So in our original video, we put this as an honorable mention spot, and I noticed a commenter said it's strong enough to be in the top 3, and I actually agree with that. But, we gotta be different sometimes. So now with this expanded top 5 format, we can analyze the, at the time controversial, $4 billion and $50 million acquisition of LucasFilm by Disney, which from a longevity and cash injection for big projects perspective was kinda a no-brainer with hindsight. And especially monetarily. The ROI is already 3x, at least according to Disney, publicly saying that Star Wars has made them $12 billion according to this Hollywood Reporter article. Lucasfilm provides a value-adding business segment and an incredibly powerful, globally recognized IP perfectly suited for Disney's multi-platform strategy, including new films, Disney Plus content, theme park lands, and hopefully better thought-out future Star Wars hotels. And stay tuned for that in our strategy section at the end. The big win for Disney, like George Lucas before, is merchandising, with games, books, comics, knives, shoes, costumes, and even makeup collections, oh my. The future is brighter for this acquisition, as George Lucas had exhausted the IP and new brainpower was and is still needed to guide the still evolving franchise. But at least, in a galaxy far, far away, you can rest assured that a certain mouse is still all about that cheddar. Alright, a great topic. Star Wars animation has been a keystone effort in maintaining the excitement around the franchise while the movies were being made or on hiatus. Star Wars was originally a cultural event, not really meant to be a spin-off and sequel-generating monster like Star Trek. The space opera concept was taken seriously by George Lucas, who wanted to tell a harmonious story set in a bizarre backdrop. Other similar franchises, especially sci-fi, like Star Trek, tend to start on TV as it is a lower cost and less expectation on visual effects. However, George Lucas, like his contemporaries Steven Spielberg and James Cameron, wanted big effects and thought from a theatrical experience perspective. After all, Industrial Light and Magic was a George Lucas brainchild. Just look at E.T., Indiana Jones, Terminator, Titanic, and Avatar. Star Wars leaning into animation was a smart move by George Lucas even early on in the 1980s, with 2 shows in 1985, Droids and Ewoks. However, George Lucas and Genndy Tartakovsky, creator of Samurai Jack and Dexter's Laboratory, teamed up for the original 2003 Clone Wars series that I loved watching on Cartoon Network's old website as a child. However, in 2005, Lucasfilm Animation was established to create a fully funded animation experience with the relaunched Clone Wars experience in 2008 that actually had a theatrical release as the initial tie-in to the show that made $68.5 million against an $8.5 million budget. Now let's do some calculating. Star Wars has released most of their animated shows after 2008, both before and after the 2012 Disney acquisition. Shows that range from 2008's Clone Wars all the way to 2023's Young Jedi Adventures. Now quick switch back to calculation mode. I made a worksheet that plotted out the estimated budgets since 2008 spent on these animated shows with the help of Google and Google Gemini. That total estimate was $460 million over 18 years, 2008 through 2025. I used other gathered information on specific show time periods to make the linear range more believable, and specifically, I looked at 2014 through 2019 when Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars Resistance came out. This helped create more variety in the number range for us to do a high-low calculation by averaging and then doing a standard deviation on the created yearly cost column to get a high annual spend of $33 million and a low-end annual spend of $18 million annually since 2008. Those are the two options. I then did something my former bosses would have hated and estimated the profit return by looking at existing examples. The Clone Wars movies that kicked off the 2008 TV show made 8x return on its budget. So assuming the same for the high and low estimate, we multiply the high and low numbers by 8 and then again by 18 for the number of years between 2008 and 2025, and we come up with a potential financial return of $4.7 billion on the high end and $2.6 billion from animated TV shows over the last 18 years on the low end. Not bad, and considering the movies since Star Wars Force Awakens have made $5.9 billion at the box office, and on top of that, merchandise sales, that $12 billion Disney brags about makes a lot more sense. To achieve the revolutionary visual effects he envisioned for Star Wars, Lucas established his own effects company when existing options were inadequate. ILM, or Industrial Light and Magic, not only made the groundbreaking effects of the original trilogy possible, but grew into a world-leading visual effects powerhouse, driving innovation across the film industry and becoming a successful business in its own right, ensuring Lucasfilm controlled key technology. Movies Industrial Light has worked on include Jurassic Park, Harry Potter, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, and Star Trek. So how much is adding cutting-edge visual effects to your movies worth? The Disney acquisition did not do a valuation on Industrial Light and Magic separately, and Lucasfilm limited data before 2012 is hard to come by, but according to a Forbes article, the London ILM studio is under British law, meaning they have to open file financial statements, and they reported revenue as $113 million or 86.2 million British pounds sterling just in the year 2023, working mostly on Disney Plus and other locally shot projects. ILM has 4 global studios after closing their Singapore office in 2023. The current head leader is Janet Lewin, and they have worked on multiple recent projects like Love, Death, Robots, Severance, Andor, and Duster on Max, and won 15 Academy Awards. Finally, adding up to the total box office of the movies Industrial Light and Magic have contributed to exceeds $250 billion worldwide all time. So the financial benefit from the strategy of creating ILM ranges from at least $300 million to $250 billion depending on how you look at it. Disney's creation of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at both Walt Disney World and Disneyland represented a massive capital investment, reportedly around $1 billion per land. These immersive lands allowed fans to step directly into the Star Wars universe, offering unique attractions, merchandise, and experiences. This strategy has happened multiple times over the decades, dating back to 1987 with Star Tours, and in the late 90s with Star Wars Weekends, both at Disney World. The in-person experience deepens fan engagement, creates premium tourism, and drives revenue through park attendance, merchandise, and food and beverage sales. Like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the immersive nature and rabid fan base make this a no-brainer. However, I believe Disney has not gone big enough on Star Wars theme park attractions. After all, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal has a bigger size. And the hotel experience, while widely praised, launched into a tough market and with an ill-fitting concept considering the average price point consumer of Disneyland. We will revisit this in our strategy recommendation section. Disney made a record $34 billion in 2024 just in their theme park division. Certainly not all driven by Star Wars, but Galaxy's Edge opened in 2019, so the general lift is undeniable graphically. we have reached the pinnacle, and this one I believe is the no-brainer option for number one. George Lucas retaining merchandising and sequel rights to the original series. Facing skepticism from 20th Century Fox about the original film's prospects, George Lucas negotiated a deal where he took a lower directing fee, $150,000 instead of $500,000, in exchange for retaining the rights to sequels and, crucially, all merchandise. This decision proved monumental, as Star Wars merchandise became unexpectedly successful, generating billions over the decades and providing Lucas the foundation for his independent empire. This is often considered one of the smartest deals in entertainment history, and it ended with a check from Disney worth $4 billion with George Lucas's name on it. Strategy recommendation number one, hotels on destinations. So the comp for the Star Wars hotel closure, despite company stated reasons, was the Orlando Nickelodeon Hotel. It's hard to create escapist experiences effectively in a place like Anaheim or Orlando. Disney needs to look at their plethora of destinations location options for Star Wars hotel experiences, such as a themed cruise, an expansion of the Hawaiian Disney location, Caribbean or Mexican resort options, or outside the USA entirely. You need to connect the access of consistent stream of spend-fit customers, escapist vacation first experience, and responsibly use Disney magic. Strategy recommendation 2, video games. Fortnite is best in class in delivering an immersive multi-world experience that allows for various play types. Star Wars has an IP that could do this on their own and even host previously released characters and gameplay on a similar Fortnite-like platform. Also, similar to the SpongeBob franchise, I don't know why the assets of the games are not updated and pooled to a database so that game development, whether in-house or outsourced, can more easily be streamlined versus building from the ground up. You could even host these assets on a license hub where studios can bid to develop this IP, and then it can turn into a profit center. Strategy recommendation 3, content. Whether it's scheduling, supporting new IP characters, using multi-platform experiences that don't just rely on theaters, but instead center them in the marketing conversion customer journey, Star Wars has a massive content library that would benefit from being the first Disney property to source the proper talent to create watch-along videos inside Disney Plus to help people catch up. Also, make a companion-like experience out of it. This strategy could easily build out a podcast unit. Alright, those were the 5 best and 5 worst business strategy decisions in the Star Wars franchise. Thanks for watching. It's so much fun to make content like this. Again, check out our website on the Participate tab. You can fill out a survey that would really help us out, and you'll get entered in the future prize drawings. Our TikTok and Instagram are popping off. Go check that out and follow us and support. We really appreciate it. Website Strategy Hub is coming. Hopefully we get a beta this week, the 31st, so look out for that. And also potentially merch. Thanks all. That's it. Have a good one. Bye.